140 years ago this summer, the city of Caldwell was platted. It's such a weird word, platted. But it was planned out on paper. And it was planned out on paper by the Idaho and Oregon Land Improvement Company, whose whole reason for existence was to get people to move to Caldwell. Its president, by the way, Alexander Caldwell. People did move there. And 100 years later, they wanted to celebrate their centennial in a special way, in an Idaho way. And 40 years ago this week, several engineers, researchers, and production line workers with the Simplot company spent 2 hours putting together a big old pile of shredded potatoes so that later that summer, they could lay claim to something Idaho and the world had never seen.
Where each Idahoan goes, so too must go the boast of famous potatoes. But of the millions and millions of famous Idaho potatoes, none is quite as renowned as this one. Actually, it's not a potato, it's 16,000 of them. And they make this the world's largest hash brown potato. It was dubbed the Super Slab by workers at the Simplot company, which made it for the city of Caldwell's centennial celebration. Even as they were packing it for a parade across town, a line was forming. News travels fast in these parts, and thousands wanted a piece of the fabled fritter.
I ran 60 feet long.
Well, it was raised in Idaho.
Rumors of its enormous girth were making their way through the line, even as the mighty potato cake lumbered into view.
Oh, it's 60 foot long?
65.
65 foot long?
Yeah.
Well, they changed it since
65.
It's long.
Well, I heard they're going to have a 60-foot long potato.
Amid a throng of hungry admirers, millionaire potato magnate J.R. Simplot unveiled his hash brown, all 65 feet and 1,800 pounds of it, claiming there's none bigger, not even in Texas.
No question about it. Okay. It's a special hash brown.
But what's a special hash brown without special eggs and sausage? So a dozen ostrich eggs were served up, along with a 65-foot link of sausage. It was a feast for thousands, leading many to exclaim that this celebration was definitely not small potatoes. This is Kevin Penrod.
It's Kevin Penrod recording, and of course he had to get the small potatoes line in there. Of course he did. Well, that big old pile of potatoes, pieces, all of them, shredded pieces, cost about $10,000 to put together. And as far as we can tell, and we checked with Guinness, at least I looked on their website, it's still the world's largest hash brown potato. But I wonder if it was really, because they had to break it up to cook it, right? And it's technically not a hash brown until it's cooked brown. It's just still a pile of potatoes, right? We'll go with it. We'll take it. You know what other potato product Idaho can claim as the world's largest? Well, there's the potato on top of the famous Idaho potato truck. We all know about that one. But there's also the world's largest potato crisp at the Idaho Potato Museum in Blackfoot. Basically a big old Pringle chip. Made in 1991 by a team of food engineers from Procter & Gamble, the Ohio company that owned Pringles at the time. It's 25 inches by 14 inches and weighs about 5 ounces. 920 calories, though, in that crisp, equal to eating 80 Pringles. Dig in.